I just want to touch now on what we referred to before, and that is this issue with scams. And people who listen to Max Radio regularly will have heard your adverts, which really do seem to focus on this issue. And honestly, Pete, when we were talking about this before, I was staggered by the lengths that some people will go to get money out of vulnerable people.
It's a full-time job for a lot of people across the world to con and scam people out of money. Now, people always seem to think that a scam could be £5,000, £10,000, £20,000. A lot of these are set up to be sort of bait amounts. So I was saying to you before, there was a scam in the UK where they'd ring people whose sons and daughters had moved out of the houses. So on the electoral register they could follow these things. They would ring and speak to the parents, sometimes elderly, vulnerable parents, and say, oh, we're after your son, just to speak to him about the £10,000 debt he has. We're looking to negotiate. If he was to pay £250 today, we'd clear the debt. Now, I know they've rung my parents with that, and if my mum had answered the phone, she'd have paid it thinking she was doing me a favour. It's the fact that my dad won't spend a penny on anything meant they didn't get away with it. But it's an epidemic in the UK, and you only need one or two people to fall for that, and it's a very believable reason for people to pay it. The problem is, once you've fallen for it, you then go on something called the suckers list, and people sell that information, your phone numbers and everything else. A lot of it's corporations, people like BT, people like Asda. All the forms you fill in with your name, address, postcode, phone number, that information is sold on, and it's not always sold on to legitimate businesses. The people selling it aren't aware, but also these scammers will sell your details on. So letters you get where you've won £20,000, you only need to send £50 admin fee to claim it. People are doing it, and if you're isolated, you're living on your own, or you're suffering from early onset dementia or slight depression, these things can really sound true. And I think the main problem in the Isle of Man with it is this protective bubble of no cold calling, no door knocking, no salesman at your door. People are phoning you, people are writing to you now, and by the time Manx Radio have done the alerts on Facebook and everything like that, they're only targeting the people on Facebook and the emails and the people that are reading it. The people who are actually being targeted are not IT savvy and they're believable. I've mentioned before, my mum is 72, is petrified of brown envelopes, because when she was being brought up, brown envelopes meant he was the tax man, it was a bill, something like that. The same generation now are getting brown envelope letters for everything, and the majority are scams. And that's what we're doing. We're going around making people aware that if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
And also making people aware that actually, if you feel you have fallen from one of these scams, there is absolutely no shame in admitting it and seeking help.
Oh, not at all. Everybody at some time in their life will have fallen for some kind of untruth or some kind of scam, whether it be 10p, whether it be sales on the internet or sales in shops, or when you're abroad buying that Rolex that is only £15 but maybe it's not a real one. Those kind of scams, everybody's been touched by them. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and if we can break this taboo of, oh my god, I'm embarrassed that I've been caught out, it will stop them and it will protect your families, because it does destroy family relationships, because people who want to take over the mum's money to stop it happening, you're basically taking the independence away from your own parents. But sometimes there's a need, and I think talking to Home Instead, talking to Max Telecom, talk to the police will answer any call on this, and they'll get warnings out on the radio and everything.